All right, today we're diving into a topic that really blurs the lines between psychology, spirituality, and our own sense of self. We're going to take a journey into what some believe are the echoes, the memories of lives we've lived before.
You know that feeling, right? That weird sense of déjà vu, where you swear you've been somewhere before even though you know you haven't? Or maybe you've met someone for the first time and felt this, this instant, totally unexplainable connection. We've all been there. But what if it's not just a coincidence?
Well, for a lot of people, feelings just like those are the entry point, the rabbit hole, if you will, into the absolutely fascinating and, let's be honest, pretty controversial world of past life regression. It's a practice that claims it can unlock answers that are buried deep, deep down in our consciousness.
Okay, so what is past life regression, really? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and explore the technique.
So at its heart, past life regression is a technique that uses hypnosis. The goal is to try and recover what practitioners believe are actual memories from past lives or incarnations. And the whole thing, the entire practice, is built on one huge foundational idea: reincarnation.
So, how does a session actually work? Well, it usually follows a few key steps. First, you're guided into a state of deep hypnosis. Then the therapist starts asking suggestive questions, kind of like prompts, to help you recall experiences. And from there, these memories start to surface. The final step is to take those memories and see how they connect to problems or questions you're facing in your life right now.
And that right there is the whole therapeutic point of it. Practitioners believe that the stuff we deal with today, phobias, anxiety, even relationship drama, could actually be rooted in traumas from a past life. The big idea is that if you can just uncover those old events, you can finally heal from them. But, and this is a huge but, this is where the whole debate really kicks off. Are these things people are remembering actual memories from a past life, or is something totally different going on inside the mind?
Okay, so this really gets to the core of the conflict. You've got two completely different views on how memory even works. On one side, the side that regression therapy leans on, memory is like a video camera. It's a perfect recording, you can just rewind and play back. But most modern psychology says, nope, not at all. They see memory as a creative process, where our brains are constantly building and rebuilding recollections from little bits of fact, a dash of imagination, and even suggestions from other people.
And this leads us to a key scientific term you gotta know: confabulation. Honestly, the best way to think about it is that your mind becomes a storyteller. When you're in that deeply relaxed, suggestible state of hypnosis, your brain can get, creative. It can take fragments of a book you read years ago, a scene from a movie, your own life experiences, and even the hypnotist's questions, and just weave them all together into a brand new story that feels 100% real.
And that is what makes this whole debate so tricky and so powerful. Because for the person who's actually experiencing it, that created memory, it feels just as real, just as emotional as a memory of what they had for breakfast this morning. From the inside, you literally can't tell the difference. So, okay, if science has this pretty solid explanation that points towards imagination, then why? Why do so many people still seek this out? Well, the answer seems to tap into something really fundamental: our deep human need for meaning and for healing.
And when you look at why people do it, the reasons are all over the map. For some, it's a deeply spiritual quest. They want to heal their karma or find their soulmate. For others, it's way more personal. They're trying to figure out, why have I been terrified of water my entire life? And then you have people who are just plain curious. They just want to explore the weird and wonderful mysteries of their own mind.
You really can't talk about past life regression without talking about the belief that holds it all up. And that, of course, is the idea of reincarnation.
So, what is reincarnation? At its core, it's the metaphysical belief that some essential part of you, call it a soul, a spirit, your consciousness, doesn't just end when you die. It survives and it gets reborn into a new body. It basically means that this life isn't a one-off movie. It's more like a long-running TV series, and each lifetime is just a new season. And look, this idea is definitely not new. It's ancient. It's a central pillar in major Eastern traditions like Hinduism and Jainism. You can find ancient Greek philosophers kicking the idea around. And today, it's had this massive comeback in all sorts of New Age movements and spiritual circles, especially in the West.
But here's a really important distinction we need to make. Not all rebirth concepts are the same. The one we're most familiar with in the West, the sort of New Age version, is that you have this single, eternal soul, your true self, and it just kind of hops from one body to the next, life after life.
That's actually pretty different from, say, the traditional Buddhist concept of rebirth. Buddhism talks about a continuity of consciousness, but it actually rejects the idea that there's some permanent, unchanging soul that's doing the traveling.
And so here we are, right back at that central question, that main tension. Is this whole thing a journey into the spiritual history of an eternal soul? Or is it a journey into the incredible creative storytelling depths of our own brain?
You know what's really interesting? Even if you go inside the community of believers and practitioners, you won't find one single story. As one of our sources points out, you have so many people claiming they have all the answers about how reincarnation and the spirit world work, but their answers are often completely different from each other. So, which is the right one? Who knows?
And that, I think, is the most powerful question at the heart of all this. Is past life regression a literal window giving you a crystal clear view into a life you actually lived? Or is it more like a profound mirror, a mirror that uses the language of stories and myths to reflect your own hidden stuff, your fears, your hopes, your potential, back at you in a way that you can finally understand?
Which brings us to one last big question. We know for a fact that people report incredible healing and major personal breakthroughs after these sessions. So, here's the thought. If an experience helps someone finally conquer a lifelong phobia or find a sense of peace they've never had, does it really matter where it came from? Does it matter if the memory was real or if it was a powerful, healing story their own mind cooked up just for them? Definitely something to chew on.